going on, guys, and welcome into the Benches Clear podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants, who are not playing games at the moment.
They sure aren't. And I'm Tyler Cohen. I represent the Los Angeles Dodgers, who swept the Slam Diego Padres in the NLDS. Slam Diego!
Diego!
Got swept. San Diego lost the series.
I saw some tweet that was like, Padres stranded on base like 14 in a row. I call that Strand Diego. I was like, dude,
I retweeted that from our Twitter.
Yeah,
you did. Fucking hilarious.
That was pretty funny. I wish I remember the guy's at so we can give him a shout out, but I'm sorry. Yell at me for not remembering you. I'm sorry, but yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, the series was pretty funny.
Yeah, they were just overmatched. I mean, honestly, when I know, like, I picked the Padres to win, but that was also, you know, if Clevenger was there. Yeah, and it was wishful thinking. I mean, honestly, the Dodgers are the best team in baseball, right? They're on paper, they should be winning the World Series. My predictions are also hopeful. Like, if it was like, hey, I got a gun to your head, tell me who's going to win, then yeah, I'd probably pick the Dodgers over the Padres, and I'd pick the Dodgers over the Braves, but I don't want that to happen.
Of course. Absolutely. But it did, and it's going to. But, you know, just circling back to the Padres series, got to give a shout-out to my boy Joe Kelly for mopping up
walking everybody.
Mess, but still getting out of it.
Did he really clean it up, though? He walked two guys and then got a sharp ground out. 1 out.
And, hey, we won that game. So,
yeah.
You know, the thing about the whole Padres thing is the Padres are going to be – they are a good team. And, yes, they didn't have Clevenger. Yes, they didn't have Lamet. But we and you're a huge advocate for this, you got to find a way to win. If someone goes down, next guy up, find a way to win. And the Padres Nation has just been spewing like, oh, if Clevenger would have been fine, Lamet would have been fine, it would have been a whole different series. And yes, that
means you don't got depth, bitch.
Yeah, but that's not the reality of it. You know? Yeah. So I'm just tired of hearing it. And the other thing too is, dude, the bats just weren't there. Manny Machado didn't do shit. I mean, he hit a home run, but that was one of his two.
Him and Tatis were 4 hits throughout the entire series, someone posted.
Yeah. Tatis didn't do much of anything. I mean, none of them did. So to say, you know, if Clevenger and Lamet were there, cool. They would have had to throw complete game shutouts because you guys weren't scoring any runs.
And I mean, let's say Clevenger dropped dick and was great. Bro, you didn't score shit. Like, even if it did happen, he would have pitched one game and then it would have went to game 5 and they would have lost. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Lamet, there's no proof that he would have dropped, that he would have had a good game. He's a young pitcher.
Yeah.
Playoffs are different, you know?
I mean, that's the thing. There's just no proof. Even though Clevenger's a great pitcher, who says he doesn't go out there and just get, you know, bombed on? You know, you don't know.
Or just give up like 2 runs, and then that's all.
Yeah, because your team can't score any runs.
Exactly. Like, and it's just ridiculous. The thing is if you're reviewing the series, like if you're a Padres fan, like, man, we didn't have Lamet and Clevenger, you know, so, and that's why you're not upset why the Padres lost. Yeah, of course, say that. That is a huge knock, and I understand where you're coming from. But if you're like, oh, we would have won, it's bullshit, that didn't count. Now you just sound like a pussy. Like,
yeah, and you know,
shut up there.
Speaking of like a double standard, when Cody Bellinger robbed that home run, that was great. And when Gratterall, you know, throws his hat, throws his glove, blows the kiss.
Glad we're getting into this.
You know, you have all these San Diego fans saying like, that's not how you celebrate, or that's how you celebrate when you win the World Series. And it's like, do you not remember what your whole city looked like when you won the wild card? Jesus Christ, it wasn't even like you won the World Series. It was like a World Series parade. And now you're saying you can't celebrate?
But that's the thing, though. Like, all the celebrations are like, kind of like, boom, show off, show up on the shit type celebration. To me, that wasn't on the shit celebration. That was like, holy shit, my teammate just did something amazing to save my ass. So that I didn't take that as on the shit. I took that as, fuck yeah, I'm not going to be the one known as fucking this up. Yeah. And yeah, he went a little over the top, maybe. But at the same time, if you're a San Diego Padre fan, Slam Diego, Tatis throwing the bat and walking, like, shut the fuck up. If newsflash for hitters, pitchers are going to get you, even if you own them, they're going to get you 6 out of 10 times. And if you're going to bat flip, then they can freaking throw their glove. Okay? Yeah. So stop being so fucking soft. And here's the thing. If Machado just would have went out and been like, oh, I'll get you next time. Oh, I got something for you. Then I would have been all for it because that's a nice back and forth type thing.
Yeah, of course.
But he went, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah. And then you look even stupider because you just ground out. And the thing is, people are saying...
And like, even stupider because he hit a home run and threw his bat just 2 innings before.
Right. Well, and people are like, well, Gratterall was showing Machado up. And it's like, no, he wasn't. He threw his glove and hat because he was excited because Bellinger saved his ass with that great catch.
But
and then Machado starts talking shit, and then he blows him the kiss. So he didn't instigate anything. That was all Manny fucking Johnny Hustle Machado. And, you know, the thing is, dude, the Padres just look dumb this series.
Did we get a quote on him at all? What he was thinking at that moment, or did no one's asked him?
I don't know. I was at that point. I didn't really care.
Because here's the thing, right? Because in real time, you have some emotions that you are like, that's not a big deal. Like for instance, when Dubon hit a home run against the Rockies and turned to his dugout and was like, and then he ran the bases, right? Daniel Murphy hit a home run and then was staring at Dubon the entire time he was running the bases. And I was like, fuck you, Daniel Murphy. Fuck you, you bitch. But that was real time. Now that, like, literally after I thought about it, I was like, that's actually pretty dope. Because that wasn't like, hey, fuck you, I'm going to beat your ass. That was like, yeah, bitch, I got you now. It was kind of like a back and forth thing.
Yeah. But
so if Manny would have came out after post-game and was like, listen, it just got the best of me. He's more than right to do what he did. It was a big play. Then I would back off of Manny because sometimes real-time reactions, you put off the wrong emotion, right? Sure. So if he would have backed off and like, nah, he's good to go. I shouldn't have said fuck you. I should have just talked some shit back. You know, I should have just went, I got something for you next time. And then I should have hit a home run off him. Like, then I would be all for it.
Well, Eric Hosmer had a good post-game interview, and he was just saying, you know, guys are excited basically, and it's now starting to become a part of baseball, and it's a good thing for baseball, and yada, yada, yada. So that was a good post-game interview because, I mean, at this point, anyone who is against the bat flipping, the celebrate, like, you're just going to look dumb because that's not the way baseball is going anymore. And it shouldn't be, you know? And it's just funny because you have baseball is just marketing Fernando Tatis as like the future of baseball. And because he is an exciting player, he's a great player. Yeah. But I think it just shows, you know, especially after the series, them losing and them not doing well and him not performing well, they need to start marketing more players. And if there are more players that were exciting to the outside fan base, you know, that could get you kind of stoked on baseball, they'd be able to, but there really isn't. You know, you have Mike Trout, who is a generational player, but from an outside perspective, people aren't going to see him and be like, wow, that guy's very exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't make guys go out of their comfort zone, right? You can't make guys be something they're not. Like in UFC, there's, you know, after the McGregor train of him just being witty and being a really good trash talker, there was a flood of guys who were trying to talk shit, who were just bad at it.
Yeah,
you know, that are just like, yeah, exactly. And if you can't talk shit, just that's not your game. So Mike Trout shouldn't be bat flipping and doing, because that's not his thing. Mike Trout be you. Market Mike Trout the way Mike Trout should be marketed, the way he's in commercials and that sort of thing. But market Tatis and Machado and you know, Mookie and those kind of guys who have personality and that are flipping bats, and let them in, just put more shine on those type of guys, because I think that will ultimately
another thing
grow the sport.
Another thing I just want to quickly point out is when the whole Machado Gratterall thing happened, my favorite part about it is Mookie getting in the middle of it, because Mookie is such he's just an even keel, like level-headed guy, and you have him, you know, he fits in so well with LA. It's like he's been there for years, but him getting in the mix of it, I think, is a big thing for the Dodgers. I mean, the camaraderie on that team, I think, is going to be unmatched by any other team, and I think it's going to serve them well going forward. So I'm excited to see.
Stud and dud of the week.
So for this week, it's tough because there's a lot to be happy about. I don't know if I can just pick one. And I mean, if I pick one person, there's going to be so many left out, but
you haven't learned. Just talk shit about them all, and they're going to be on fire next series. So.
Well, no, I'm talking studs. I'm talking studs. There's a lot of studs.
That's what I'm saying. Don't even. If I were you, with the way things are going for you, I wouldn't even pick a stud. Like, they're all shit. They're all shit. All of it. Every single one of them.
Terrible game last night. Fuck him.
Mookie, bum. Will Smith, bum. Whack. Me, I'm tight as fuck. Like, that's what you need to be. But pick a stud.
Dude, I'm just gonna say Cody Bellinger, just because that was just such a fun moment. I don't think he had the best series by any means.
Let's talk about Cody Bellinger for a second, though. Dude has been high all season.
Yeah,
like my man is on high thoughts.
Yeah, we were a bunch of us were watching the game at my house outside on a projector, socially distanced, of course, for game 2. But it was like, does he even think? Like, we were making, like, references like it's like SpongeBob. He only knows baseball in his name. Or it's like Anchorman, where it's like even the guy who can't think talks. Like, he just looks so not there.
Baked. He's not there. He's just baked. If you look at him, he's like, like high thoughts. Like, if the classic, if a tree falls, like, do you even hear it? Like, like, can I hear my hair? Like, just random, like, I don't know. Like, he's on another planet, dude. And I feel like maybe that's why he was slumping. He's just getting used to the amount of weed he's been consuming.
Yeah. Well, he's now worse than Jock Peterson giving interviews, which I didn't think was possible, because Jock Peterson doesn't look like he's thinking at all either.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but that's normal Jock.
Right. Yeah. I'll give the stud to Cody Bellinger. Like I said, I don't think he was the best player in the series by any means, but that was just such a fun moment and a fun game, and I think kind of energized the players, the fan base, and I think it's going to create some momentum. So I'll give it to Cody. Being able to hit that home run, rob that home run. And then for Dud, I mean, there's obviously one answer. It's Kenley Jansen. Actually, hold on, there's two answers. It's Kenley Jansen and it's Dave Roberts. Because I don't know what the fuck he's thinking.
Look out for them to have big series this series.
Yeah. Dave Roberts is going to manage 7 perfect games.
He's going to be Bruce Bochy out there.
Yeah. No, it's he just doesn't have it. And at what point do you accept, okay, he can no longer facilitate this role? And I made a point on Twitter the other day saying he shouldn't be coming into these high leverage situations. And someone responded with, then why you even have him? Well, I mean, he's under contract. So we got to keep him on there.
He's still good.
He's still effective.
He's still great. I mean, he just hasn't gotten to that point where he loses his role, unfortunately, classically. I understand why you would want – I mean, the scare of a lifetime, still won the game. Technically, you should be scared to put him out there. But classically, a closer doesn't lose his position until he blows like 3 or 4 saves in a row. Then it's like, bro, you're done.
But now,
you can't do that right now.
You can't afford that.
Exactly. So I get it. But you don't – he's not bad by any means. Like, at the moment, I would put him in only – in like a ninth inning situation if they're up 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And if he gives up 2 runners, tell Gratterall, listen, those guys don't exist. Those runs are in. You still got 2 runs. Go for it.
Dude, the thing about Gratterall is he's definitely the closer of the future. Everyone knows it. This guy, Brusdar Gratterall, looks like he's throwing a knuckleball. Just over the top. Looks like he's just kind of, just cruising it in there. For 100 miles an hour. It's insane. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. So he should be the closer. The thing about it is Jansen has to perform, yes, but Doc has to know where these guys slot in certain situations. So that's why I think both of them are the dud, because Kenley is just going out there because he's told to, But if he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. And the manager's responsible for being able to recognize that and yanking him or not putting him in the first place. So,
and before we go into fuck you of the week, I want to thank if there's any out there right now, Giants fans listening to the podcast, because we haven't talked about Giants because there's no Giants, so we're talking playoffs. I get it. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. You're stars of the show. If you're still here hanging in with me, I feel you're there, even though you might not be there. But if you're there, I really appreciate you. Our brackets, as far as mine and yours, are still not looking too good. I mean, we'll find out if the Rays move on, but Astros are making it, unfortunately. I mean, you picked the Dodgers. I didn't.
I also picked the Astros, Braves, if you recall.
Yeah, that's true. But fuck you. So fuck you of the week, A, is Tyler. Main fuck you of the week is our boy Lance McCullers. For being a bitch. Okay, this guy's like, we're hard work, determination. That's all we are. And I said, yeah, hard work, determination, bro. You take shortcuts, meaning you cheat. So then he tweeted at me and said, hey, this guy gave it a try. Please give him a like or an RT to help him out. And then I talked some shit back to him. And then he tried to go at Jared Carrabis. And then Carrabis said something to him. And then he deleted his Twitter. And then reactivated it after they won. So, dude, Lance McCullers, you're soft. If you can't talk shit, then don't be on Twitter. If you don't want to get shit talked, then don't be on Twitter or don't talk shit. I mean,
or don't cheat.
Why are you wasting your time with me? Or that, yeah. I mean, why are you wasting your time with me? If you want to talk shit to me or you want to talk shit to Carrabis and you can't get the heat, obviously it wasn't because of me. I mean, I had like maybe 5 likes on my reply to you, which I thought was pretty witty, but fuck you. But Carrabis said something to you which was pretty deadly, and then you delete your Twitter. Like, bro, you're soft. You are baby. You are Charmin Ultra soft.
Bitch-made Lance McCullers, who fits in very well with the rest of the Houston Astro bitch-made roster. So that makes sense. Our second fuck you of the week goes to the Slam Diego people who made the video and just Padre fans in general. You know, it's one thing to lose graciously. It's another to just make excuses and be a little bitch.
Yeah, so don't make excuses.
And don't make stupid music videos that make you look stupid. I mean, it made you look stupid before you lost the series because it was just dumb and horribly done. But now you just look dumb because you were just wrong about everything. Yeah. The Slam Diego Padres didn't look threatening at all in that series, so fuck you.
Brought to you by Farhan. Fuck that guy. You can quote me on that. And now we'd like to welcome into the Bench is Cleared podcast. You know her from Mansplain, Baseball Elsewhere podcast. Braves Emily. How's it going, Emily?
It is going wonderful.
Obviously, we have you on here to talk about the 10-year anniversary when the Giants knocked the Braves out of the playoffs. Yeah. No, I mean, that's the only thing I guess I'm here for. I mean, what am I even doing here?
Yeah, you really serve no purpose at the moment.
Yeah, like what?
You're just a facilitator. You really, no one gives a shit about you right now.
Yeah, I'm the ring girl outside like the round one and the round, like, I'm useless.
You're where Javi Lopez went to go to Oblivion, right?
That's true.
Why you gotta go there?
Sorry.
Why we gotta start there? No, but I mean, that Marlins series. I mean, I guess I was a person that just did not believe in the Marlins at all throughout the entire year. It seemed like they just kind of coasted through that series. Is that how it felt, or?
Yeah. So the last game was actually really kind of anticlimactic. The first game, I mean, until they hit Acuna, they were doing really good.
I feel like
then they kind of screwed themselves over. But we had faced them throughout the year, and I mean, it was 6-4 throughout the year, so people were like, oh, it was kind of even, except our lineups were horrible the times that we lost to them. So we knew if we had our starting 9, like, it's not really a matchup, and our pitching had just steadily improved throughout the year. So I wasn't really worried about it at all, but I also get really superstitious. Like, if you look on Twitter, like, I'm not going to talk crap about another team before I play them. One, it makes you look stupid if you lose because you just said this team's horrible and you lost to. But
you got every once in a while though. Like Michael Jordan said, it's really easy to talk when you're up. You gotta have you gotta talk shit when you're down or when you're tied too.
Yeah, but
so, I mean, you're gonna look stupid eventually.
But to Emily's point, I mean, the Dodgers, Twitter family was popping off last night because so many people had, like screen caps of all the shit the Padres were talking after they
Slam
won.
Diego.
Yeah.
God. Loves the Padres.
Yeah.
So,
but like with the Marlins, I had no nerves the entire series. With the Reds, I was nervous because
there were tight games.
All year our bats have either been like it's feast or famine, and I'm like they could shut us down, and they pretty much did. But
yeah, what a
just shut them down even more.
That was. That was so disappointing because I was on the Reds bandwagon all season, and I really thought at the very least they would give the Braves a run for their money. But I mean, they just laid up a dud, and I mean, game one, so that's such a tough loss.
Yeah.
But then, to score no runs, it was just super disappointing. And I believed in the Marlins, too. I thought the Marlins could at least win a game.
Or make it competitive.
Something. Yeah, right.
I mean, it never really felt like they were going to win any of those.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing is I feel the same way as you. Even, like, on paper, the Dodgers were obviously going to beat the Braves. Or not the Braves, excuse me. Well, they probably will. But the Brewers. But as a Dodger fan, I can't go out there and be like, oh, yeah, we're going to win 2 games in a row, no problem. But like from an outside perspective, like I could look at the Braves-Marlins series and be like, well, yeah, they're probably going to win. It's a lot easier from an outside perspective, right, Jesse, when, have your team in it?
Yeah, when your nerves aren't – well, I think it's the closest, too, because like I've said multiple times, my second favorite team is anyone playing the Dodgers. So – I really want them to – not as much as I want the Giants to win, but I want the Dodgers to lose in the worst way.
Yeah, well, don't hold your breath because it ain't going to happen. And speaking of it not happening, this upcoming series now with the Braves, I shouldn't have said that because I feel super nervous about it, and I don't know how you feel.
No, that's all we're gonna put in. Like, right, if you guys get your ass beat, it's just gonna be like bah, 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 all day.
I mean, realistically speaking, I think the Dodgers and Braves they don't match up super well against one another just because they're kind of the same team, in my opinion. I mean, you have the strong starting pitching, which once Soroka went down, I didn't really think that was going to be a strong suit of theirs, and it clearly has been. And I mean, that lineup, I know you were saying it's feast or famine, but those guys can bop at any time, just like the Dodgers. So I think it's going to be a super competitive series, but I'm curious to know what your thoughts are as a Braves fan going into this series against the Dodgers, who are technically the best team in baseball.
I think we are at an advantage because we have nothing to prove. Like, I mean, if we win the NLCS, like, that's amazing, awesome. Like, we want to do that. That would be amazing. But to get this far, like, that's pretty good, especially with the year we've had and the injuries we've had and even making it to the postseason and then getting past the NLDS finally. Like, so this would just be like the whipped cream on top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so we want to, but nobody expects us to, and we don't have that pressure on ourselves. So I said it before Game 3 with the Marlins, like with Kyle Wright, I think it benefited him having less stress because it wasn't a have to win game.
Yeah.
So he didn't have that stress on him. I think the same thing is for this whole series. It's not necessarily a have to win for us.
Yeah.
And I think that benefits us. And I also think people underestimate us a lot. Like, our bullpen is deep. And if you haven't watched us until the postseason, you haven't seen half of it.
Yeah, and that bullpen has been lights out.
Yeah.
Giants 2019 bullpen is very good. So,
and with having no days off, people talk about a bullpen game. We can literally have bullpen games. I mean, we've had guys come out as starters, like Matzik started, Tomlin started. Did it go 100% perfect? No, but it went fine.
Yeah, and that's where I think the Dodgers, in my view, have the advantage is, talk about a bullpen game. We don't necessarily have to go that route because we technically have 5 starters ready to go who are all pretty damn good. And especially with Tony Gonsolin, we haven't seen him in the wild card series, in the NLDS. I mean, he hasn't pitched since, I think, September 23rd, I think it was. So it's a little questionable why Doc didn't throw him in at all last night, especially when we were up, just to kind of get him a little bit.
Do you think that would hurt him, though?
I don't know, because, you hear these guys like Dustin May talk about, or even like Tyler Glasnow pitching right now, where they only pitch 2 innings. It's kind of like a side session off day anyways. So especially when you have that lead, I suppose if he goes in there and gives up 3 runs, in an inning, that could hurt his confidence, hurt his psyche. But as far as like physically, the pitch count's going to be, a side session bullpen day anyhow. So I don't know why it happened, but it did. But Dodgers lining up potentially 5 starters against the Braves, who have 3 pretty good starters and then a solid bullpen. It'll be interesting because I don't think the Dodgers are going to go the bullpen game route at all in this series.
Yeah, and then I mean, like Noah he's been, again, either 100% or like pull him after 1.5. So.
And it'll be, what I'm super interested to see is I'm really interested to see how the Dodgers are going to match up, against Ian Anderson, just because he's so young and I mean, he's so damn good, but I don't think he's faced a lineup quite like the Dodgers. But I mean, Ian Anderson, the Dodgers obviously haven't faced him. And the bright lights of the postseason don't seem to be too much for him. So that's the most exciting matchup I'm, excited to see is when
on
Ian
the flip
Anderson
side,
throws.
he hasn't seen them, but they haven't seen him either. So
if we can maybe touch on something, I know this is maybe backpedaling just a little bit, right? Sure. But how do we feel about like bullpen games in postseason, like and the idea of like when a starter gives up a run in the 3rd inning, you pull him?
I'm not for it. I
hate it.
I don't understand why Dustin May only went 1 inning. I mean, it worked out because Julio Urias pitched lights out.
Here's my so I mean, you can't say. So if I was the Yankees in Tampa Bay right now, you give up a run, like you might be coming out. Like I'm giving it everything I got. It's the 5th game. We got to win this. If it's the first game of a 7-game series, no, you need to get yourself out of this mess. Like I'm going to need all those. Like I need everyone available for 6 more games.
Yeah, I just don't like the idea.
Well,
I get the new saber, like the new idea is no 3rd time through the lineup. The numbers are all against it. But when you do that every single game and your stacked bullpen is being seen 3 times through the same lineup, like 3 days, isn't that worse? Like it doesn't make sense to me, and it drives me fucking crazy.
I don't want to say it screwed us over with Fried because we had no idea that first game against the Reds was going to go 13 innings, but we pulled him after 77 pitches, maybe. We pulled him in the 4th, and after 4, and like looking back, it's like, why'd you pull him? No, I mean, we had no idea it was going to go that long. But if that game had gone, if the series had gone to 3, and like, it would have changed the whole everything, having to use the bullpen that much that soon. So no, I agree. I think, I mean, you have to give pitchers a little leeway, and you have to trust your lineup to be able to. If your lineup can't get one run back for you, you got bigger issues.
Yeah, and it's like if you use these bullpen guys all the time, they might be like high level bullpen guys, but they're still not as good as any starter technically. So it's like, who's better? A starter the 2nd time through the lineup or your 4th reliever? Like, I just I don't understand it. It drives me fucking insane. I mean, maybe just because I'm a starter type guy. I love it when a starter goes like 7-8 innings, and I kind of like give more leeway that way as opposed to relievers. But I don't know. I can't fucking stand this.
I think the other thing too is, with the expanded rosters this postseason, I think you're seeing it more than you would have if it was only a 26-man roster.
Yeah, we carried 15 pitchers in the NLDS.
Exactly. and you would have carried probably 13 in a normal series. So it makes sense.
Look how mad I am. Why am I cross-armed right now? I'm just like super pouty. This is making me so upset. I hate it.
So what's really weird is Braves fans are clamoring to see Mike Fulton-Nevich come in. Like, not as a starter. We just want him as a reliever in the postseason. I'm like,
Isn't
have you guys not watched our postseason?
Isn't he not on the team still?
But, like, I love him as a person. He's a great guy, I'm sure. But what he did in his last game and what he's done every postseason, well, not every postseason, but the past few, and what he did against the Dodgers for us. I may not throw him in a game, his first game back.
Wait, so is he on the team?
Huh?
Is Mike Fulton-Nevich on the team?
He's on the team because nobody picked him up from waivers, so he's on the team. And so he was on the taxi squad for the NLDS.
Okay.
I didn't know that because when he got released when he was released on our podcast, I was saying how it's crazy that this guy was, the bona fide number one starter, and now that he's just being released.
Yeah, so he's put on weight again and gotten his velo back up, and he's looking a lot better.
So he's like coming back. So why the fuck would you want to give him a shot?
But I mean, think about what a confidence killer that is. It's like they throw you in the middle of a postseason game, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not the time to throw someone out there for sink or swim.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that's your Braves insider info there.
Huh. Well, no, I'm glad to hear it because I didn't even know he was with
you. If that happens, you can just think about me having a stroke watching it on TV.
Yeah.
When someone takes him deep and be like, man, Emily said they shouldn't put him in. She was right. But I'm really glad they did. That was great.
And then I will die.
So, Emily, I got to ask you, I saw this video from a Nakahoma Nation. By that video, and I'm not gonna lie, because I think we were scoring a little bit from the I'm not sure if you saw the Slam Diego diss track against the Dodgers and the cringe that was, but
that was horrific.
And I saw this video and I was like, what the and I think I was just used to the like I said, that was what we just came from, so I was like, are people fucking insane? And then I think it kind of dawned on me, oh, he's like trolling.
Yeah, so fun story. Josh Brown is one of the reasons we have our podcast because all three of us listened to Nakahoma Nation and would talk about it on Twitter, and then that's how we connected. Mm-hmm. And then we listened to that and another podcast called Let Me Just Say, and then we're like, if these idiots have podcasts, we can surely do one. And then here we are.
And then you just get on John Boy Media. No big deal.
No big deal. So say all that to say, Josh Brown is one of the greatest troll masters this side of the universe. Nobody knows when he's being serious or when he's kidding. So, but it did inflame Dodgers Twitter, and it was quite hilarious watching it from this side.
Because, like I said,
for the Twitter battles.
I reposted it and was like, this isn't serious, is it? And then like 2 seconds later, I deleted it and I was like, no, this is obviously a troll. What the fuck is wrong with me? Like,
no, but people really thought it was.
Got it.
And so,
I know.
Braves fans who, I don't know how you're on Braves Twitter and don't know who he is. Like, I'm not saying he's like, Chipper Jones famous, but he's been around a long time. Like, somebody, surely one of your friends should have pointed out this.
He's more like Andrew Jones. Maybe not a Chipper Jones. Maybe like an Andrew Jones.
Who does belong in
Put some respect on Andrew Jones' name. Yeah. That's cold-blooded.
No, because he's just another person that came to the Dodgers to die. So, no respect for Andrew Jones.
Okay, well, we're going to have to fight about that later. But anyway, yes, but Dodgers Twitter they thought he was serious.
It's going to be fun because, since we didn't get to play anyone else besides the Western divisions, we haven't had any Twitter interaction with anyone outside the AL West or the NL West. So I'm excited to see because I feel like the Dodgers Twitter brings it. So I don't know. I think we got the edge here, but I'm curious to see what it's going to look like.
Well, I was thinking about that today, walking my dog. Like, obviously we play y'all, and then if we get to the next level, but
kidding.
I was thinking about it like we could literally get to the World Series, and the Dodgers be the only team in the postseason that we play that we didn't play in the regular season, like, which is just weird.
That's true.
Like, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, but it would just be strange. Like, I don't know.
You know what's funny, and I don't know why I just thought of this. When I was watching the beginning of the Yankees Rays game, one of the broadcasters was like, could you imagine how rocking this place would be if it was in Tropicana Field and the fans were there? And I was like, what? Like, Tropicana Field only gets like 12,000 fans a game.
Yeah,
like, what
all
the hell
10,000 of them
about?
would be going crazy. Well, looking at a game with 10,000 now might be like, oh my God, it's packed. I mean, maybe our eyes are used to like no fans.
Well,
wasn't this last year like an NFL player was just like on the sidelines and like caught a like foul ball, like just raised his hand and caught a ball.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, he was just like hanging out. Boop.
God, you're just fucking up all over the place today.
All over.
Who?
Was that your beep that just went off?
Actually, I did. Yeah, like I said, I'm doing like 100 things. I've been smoking a pork butt for the past 10 hours. So that was saying the probe is dead. My wife's pulling it off right now.
Anyways, one of the biggest things that I just want to say before the series gets underway is I'm so upset that the Dodgers are playing the Braves now that fans are going to be allowed in the stadium, because if there's one thing I hate in sports, it's the Atlanta Braves, the Florida State Seminoles, anyone that does the all that chop bullshit. I'm so upset that I have to hear that for potentially 7 games.
We don't know if we're going to do it, like, because they took it away. And
thank God, finally.
They didn't play it, like, at spring training. Like, we thought we heard it maybe one time at one of the games, but then we didn't. So
I'm sure fans are still gonna.
I'm sure somebody will.
Because I remember the whole thing was when we beat you guys in the DS, what was it, 6 years ago? The whole thing was, fear the chop, fear the chop.
Oh, yeah.
And it made for a nice Twitter post. I was like, fear the chop, haha, fuck you, have fun golfing, losers. So that's my biggest thing. And it's
Thanks for coming on, though, Emily.
Yeah. Well, for me, like, as a kid, it wasn't even like, the political correctness of it. I just hated hearing that echo throughout the stadium. Like, any team that has some sort of Native American affiliation that does that, I just hated hearing it. So I'm hoping to God I don't have to hear it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to hear it at least once.
You probably will.
Which is
you probably did not like when Acuna hit his grand slam then 2 years ago.
No, but then when we, won Game 4, it was fine.
Yeah, it should have been called ball 4 and then just 500 feet off Bueller, so we might see a repeat of that. Speaking of the series, though, let's get into some predictions. Emily, let's start with you. What do you think how the series is going to go? And MVP and maybe even a surprise, I guess, MVP, who's someone who we weren't even thinking of.
I am going to say... I'm going to be very optimistic. I'm going to say Braves in 6 because all my predictions have come true one game after I've said them. So I got to say Braves in 6. And surprise MVP.
I probably should maybe say unsung hero more because, I mean, it's MVP and then unsung hero. That's probably the better way to introduce it.
Well, Travis d'Arnaud was definitely of the NLDS.
Former Dodger, Travis
Ozzy
d'Arnaud.
Albies is my favorite Brave. And so if his bat can light up, his defense has been out, like, on fire. But he does not get enough respect. But I think if Albies could get that Silver Slugger back going, it would be nice. And we'll see.
Yeah, there's always that one guy, right, that, like, no one would think just gets super hot. I mean, I think every postseason team has had it. I mean, people actually get in trouble for signing them like the next year for like a 4-year deal and they continue to suck. But it seems like Travis d'Arnaud can be that guy. And even when the Braves signed him, I was kind of like, really? They think he's worth that much? Like, he was just released and Dude's
and
raking
he's
right now.
done phenomenal against all of his former teams. And who did he used to play for?
That doesn't even count. He was a Dodger for 2 weeks tops.
Doesn't matter.
What?
That's why, like
Andrew Heaney did the same thing. Remember when he was literally traded to be traded?
Yeah,
he was a Dodger for like 24 hours, and then he tweeted like, "Thanks Dodgers for all the memories."
Yeah, it wasn't even 24 hours. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see it happening. You know, my prediction, I'm going to go the same but opposite. I'm going Dodgers in 6. I think it's going to be a good series, but I think Dodgers are going to pull it off in 6. I hope to God they do, because I need this. You know, this year has been so shitty. I personally need this more than anyone else. You know, and for MVP, I'm going to go shot in the dark. I'm going with my boy Clayton Kershaw. I'm going with him throwing 2.
It's not really shot in the dark, but okay.
Shot in the dark? Really? After
That's not shot in the dark.
Typically does in the postseason.
Yeah, after everyone wants to shit on his postseason
so.
Appearances, come on.
Yeah.
And
shot in the dark, best pitcher of our generation. I mean, that's crazy. I get the postseason thing, but it's also a 60-game season, so he's mid-season right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's mid-season for him.
He still hasn't – people still forget that it's mid-season, and they love to bring up, you know, especially the other night when Kershaw went into the 7th inning. Even though I know he's mid-season Kershaw, him going into the 7th inning in the postseason still brings back those feelings of like, oh, shit, here we go. So I'm going Clayton Kershaw MVP, and for Unsung Hero, I've been shitting on him all year. He picked it up a little bit in the NLDS. I'm going Max Muncy. He's finally going to figure it out after 65 games. He's going to figure it out.
I literally thought you were going to say Cody Bellinger. I was gonna throw my fucking computer if you would have said Unsung Hero, last year's MVP. I would have been done. I would have been fucking done.
I mean, he needs to pick it up too. He still hasn't been that great.
It's okay if he doesn't.
Oh, fuck you, dude. He hasn't been that great. Only saved was
okay. That was a great.
Fucking robbed a home run, hit a home run.
That was
the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean,
any decent center fielder could have center field. Whatever.
I don't know, dude. I'll disagree with that. But also, did you see the catch that Aaron Judge caught that everyone was freaking drooling over the other day?
Did you see the one Josh Reddick
he's
caught
like
yesterday?
8 feet tall. He has to jump 2 inches to catch anything.
Yeah,
no, but like he was like he basically kind of like he ran and was kind of like switched sides and made like kind of awkward catch, and everyone was like, the best play by a right fielder. Like, oh my
That's just
god,
bad
like
route efficiency.
Yeah, like I know it's Aaron Judge.
They said Nick Markakis had the best play of the game, and he let the ball bounce in front of him. The guy still got on base. Like, he just didn't get extra.
He saved a triple by not diving and missing the ball. Well, did you see Josh Reddick yesterday? In the right field corner of Dodger Stadium, you know, there's the short wall, and he kind of caught it between the short wall and the bullpen gate. And he, like, kind of jumped into it. Very easily could have not done that, and everyone's just like, oh my god, Josh Reddick with the amazing catch. And I was like, why are broadcasters still just pretending that the Astros are like the greatest team of all time? I don't understand it.
Yeah, that would be such a 2020 thing though if the Astros win. Like it would be like the worst thing that could happen to cap off such a shitty year.
Well, hey, if let's say somehow the Dodgers lose and the Astros and Braves are in the World Series, you're going to see me at home fucking chopping and doing you're going to see it. Because
we're going to have more Braves fans than we know what to do with.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to hop on.
Well, you already have all of San Francisco with you as well. So, I mean, you got a lot.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate it. We'll take all the San Diego ones, too. Whoever wants to join us.
San Diegans.
They're a little too salty right now. I think they're still hiding. All their Twitters are deactivated, so probably won't hear from them for a while.
Well, Emily, thank you so much for coming on and giving us your time. I know it was late, and I know things keep happening.
Fucked up everything and looks like an idiot, but
shout out! I know you're watching a Lakers game. My Carolina classmate, Danny Green, we graduated the same year.
Danny Green.
He's not the best, but he gets
not
a read with the rest of them.
But playoffs he hasn't been showing up. But I mean, throughout the year, when he's hot, he's hot. Like when he's hot,
in the playoffs.
I personally would have died if he hits has the best game of his life tonight after everybody's been talking crap. I will fall out of my chair.
It sucks because everyone's been doing that because on the back of his jersey he has a how many more, so everyone keeps saying how many more missed shots. Like it's kind of fucked up, but it's kind of funny. To me, speaking of Danny Green, I don't know if it's just me, but doesn't he look kind of like a California raisin?
What the fuck?
Like his face, like it's just like shaped. It looks like California raisin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up a picture of Danny Green right now just so I can see it and try to visualize.
He looks like I'm sorry, maybe that's just me.
In his player profile picture, I kind of see it.
Yes, dude. I saw him. I was like, dude, that's a California raisin. But yeah. So hopefully your boy is on. We do these things to kind of end off the podcast. We call them slow pitch questions. They're basically like rapid fire, but we're gonna press you if you come out of pocket on something. Yeah, a lot slower.
Okay.
All right. If you could hit a home run off of anyone, or strike someone out, your pick, both, whatever you want. Who would that be?
Home run off of DeGrom, strikeout Harper. It's a very analytical answer.
I like that answer.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm on the Bryce Harper is kind of overrated, even though he's had a really fucking good year this year. But okay, walk-up song. What are you walking us on to?
Oh, P. Pablo, North Carolina.
Damn, P. Pablo.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, long time.
Holy shit.
I just told you where I went to school, and everyone who listens to our podcast will die laughing. I'm I'm a diehard Tar Heel, so it makes sense to everyone else.
All right, we're looking at go-to place to eat out.
Oh, wow. We don't really have many places to eat out where I live.
Question: Do you currently live in North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
There's only one answer. It's Cookout.
Oh, dude, Cookout.
Cookout is delicious.
Cookout's the best thing.
Cookout
so we're going to answer for you. You're not allowed to answer that question. We're going to tell you. Cookout.
Sorry to take your time, but the answer is Cookout.
It's 100% Cookout. You are right.
God, you guys are so. I mean, we have In-N-Out, but Cookout. Get some
and Cookout's
wine,
like $3,
like $5 meal with like a burrito as a side, and then a milkshake. I mean, you can't beat it.
You can't. That's true. For fast food, it's Cookout definitely.
Damn.
Favorite high school jam?
High school jam?
Yeah. Like song. I mean, I feel like I should stop saying that because I feel like no one gets high school jam.
You're too old, bro. You're too old.
I guess so. Favorite high school banger? I guess that's what kids say.
I don't know why, but Ignition from R. Kelly is popping in my head.
That's good. We didn't know.
Yeah, it can't be the answer now. Like, we didn't know that back in high school.
Yeah.
Like, I listened mostly to country, but like Ignition was like at every dance when Ignition came on.
That's like my go-to wedding songs, Return of the Mac. But if that's already been played, it's always Ignition, but not anymore.
You can't listen to Ignition anymore. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Not anymore, but you couldn't in high school.
Shit.
But you couldn't in high school.
Stupid R. Kelly.
Fucking bitch. All right. Lastly, what's the thing you're most into besides baseball?
Yeah. Carolina sports, UNC. Really, anything they do.
Just more sports.
Just more sports. I read a lot.
I mean, yeah, we talked earlier, and you were saying you were NASCARing it up. So
I am going to a NASCAR race on Sunday. I'm going to UNC Virginia Tech play tomorrow, Saturday, and I'm going to NASCAR race on Sunday. So that's just what we always do at the company. That's what we do.
I'd like to give you a shout out for University of North Carolina for producing Mitch Trubisky, who has been sucking for the Bears. I'm a huge Vikings fan, so I'm a big fan of Mitch Trubisky, even though he won't be around next season. He sucks.
He was good in college, though. That's all I needed him for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I'm just, the Vikings are terrible, so I just have to bring that out in every podcast. It seems to be a theme as of late, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Emily, for coming on and giving us your time.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
No problem. Hopefully, if there's
good luck in the series, but not really,
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully Pablo comes up at the pinch hit and gets a pinch hit home run. Melanson saves it, maybe a couple holds from Will Smith, so we feel like we're there a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. Will
Just
Smith
a little
Will Smith is just going to be trippy and wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be sick
we
when
saw
he gets
last
a home
year.
run,
It was pretty great.
So it's no big deal. It's like whatever. First
they're gonna
catcher
choke
ever to have 5
eventually,
hits in a postseason game. It's no big deal.
Yeah, definitely during the offseason. Hopefully there's some trades or something that has to do with Braves, and we'll be hitting you up and to come back on.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool.
Right,
well,
awesome.
thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. As always, this episode was brought to you by Renovation Candle Company. Fall candles are out. Holiday candles will be releasing October 23rd at 9 a.m. Be on the lookout for those, and thank you for all the support.
9 a.m. Stay up all night. Be the first in line online. That doesn't make sense at all, but still do it. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to be following us on Twitter at BenchesClearedP, on Instagram, Benches Cleared Podcast. Please subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform and leave us a review. Subscribe to us on YouTube to help us grow. Thank you guys very much for listening. Hopefully the Braves knock out the Dodgers, and we'll just be covering. And we'll see you guys Game 1 of the World Series as we break that down.
And as
Thank you guys for listening.
Fuck Aubrey Huff.
Fuck Aubrey Huff. See you guys next week.